I love video games. They've been my main hobby for most of my life, and now I make videos about video games, which is great. But recently, I've been analysing new games and critiquing new systems, and I've noticed a slow but insidious trend toward games becoming more and more monetized, but not fairly monetized. Anti-player monetized. It's the feeling you get when you look at a battle pass in a game you've already paid full price for. It's the tiny slither of sadness when a game you want has different exclusive levels for different consoles, and you'll know you'll never get to experience every part of that game now. It's that cosmetic you want, costing 1,005 gems, but the gems are sold in packs of 1,000.
We know that. Yeah, right. Always the extra additional units. We're shaming the industry. We're shaming them right now. I know exactly what he's talking about. It's everywhere. It's rampant. Completely agree with him.
Shame.
It's so corporate. It's terrible.
The knowledge that year on year the microtransactions from FIFA Ultimate Team alone make more money than Elden Ring's entire sale run. It's the unfortunate reality of gaming after the marketing executives took over, and it's hard to explain exactly how or when it changed, but explaining things is what I do. So let's go back to the start of gaming and work out when this whole mess started. And then I'll actually pinpoint the exact thing,
a hell of a time
specific design choice which makes new games feel wrong.
Okay.
Welcome, I'm Josh Strife-Hayes.
That's a
Let's
bold
work out what the
statement.
hell went wrong with the monetization of gaming. As usual, a massive thank you to all the supporters on Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube who keep the channel alive. More information on how you can...
Jesus, look at this man and all that. Look at this wall of one day. One day. Listen, I don't even need all this. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I have to say, what has ruined any industry on the face of the planet? Humans, greed. It's like... If people in the industry could like take that out of their DNA, then they wouldn't be human anymore. But like if they could resist it, they would be more successful. That's what a lot of game developers don't understand. If they can resist the money grab and the absolute apparent money grab that some developers go to, the lengths of which I have never seen in my life, like, wow, I can name a few developers like that actually, where it's just so apparent. Riot, you know what I mean? Like everything's a money grab. Everything. Blizzard, everything's a money grab. I mean, look at Hearthstone, for God's sake. One of the biggest money grabs of all time. In order to have any type of efficiency or effectiveness, you have to continually buy new packs of cards, right? They got them. They hooked them like fish in a river, right? And this has been like the bane of gaming for a very long time. Like there was some crazy money tactics happening in the 90s, but never so grimy, never so low as what I've seen the past decade, right? It's beyond ridiculous what I'm seeing now.
Support at the end. For now, let's begin. Let's go back to the 1980s and early 1990s.
Right.
The video game revolution was
Evil.
kicking off, but home consoles weren't yet mainstream, so we went to arcades. You put your money in and played a game, effectively making arcades.
This thing ate so much of my money. I think this guy actually correctly named the title. Of like the constant like putting the money in to keep going. You know what the crazy part of this game is? I don't know. I'm going to go super nerdy. I'm going to go super nerdy with this and show you that that this is my genre. But in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, the part that was the most difficult was like there was an underwater swimming part, and I must have sunk like hundreds of dollars into this trying to get past that particular level, and they knew they were doing it. Who did this? Was this Capcom? Was Capcom guilty of making the first game that was like a money sucker?
Arcades, the socially accepted pay-to-play model. There's no denying arcades were bloody expensive. I remember dropping way more than I should have done to complete Time Crisis, but while this was expensive, there was a very simple relationship between the game, the money, and the player. Pay money, get access to the whole game. Victory depends on your skill. Game designers knew it was a simple transaction, and they knew someone would simply play as long as they were able to, so they had to make the game hard so you would die more, and so pay more. This is why the Turtles game had that underwater bit. It's why House of the Dead bosses were damage sponges.
This guy knows his stuff. It's exactly what I was saying, man. It's exactly what I was saying.
It's why Ghosts and Goblins
Ghosts
was
and Goblins!
everything that Ghosts and Goblins is. In the early days of home consoles, when people would rent games, we even called difficult levels
Dragon Slayer?
blockbuster levels,
Yep.
designed to make
Yes,
the rental
Mad Style.
period longer, and so you'd
Before
have to
Teenage
keep
Mutant-
renewing it.
Mad Style. Mad Style. Mad Style. Dude, that is the one. Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair was that game that like took your money, and you had to remember the button and the directions that you pushed in order to advance to the next cutscene, essentially. And Dragon's Lair was the very first, because that came out way before Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Dude. Mad Style gets the MVP. Mad Style gets the MVP for the show today. Mad Style, congratulations. You have won $10 Bezos money. Congratulations to Mad Style for getting MVP of today's stream. Remind me, Mad Style, and I will get you, I will hook you up with that $10 Bezos money. $10 Bezos money.
So why don't these money-hungry games make us feel the same way as modern money-hungry games? Well, it's because the trade of money for game was simple, and there was nothing insidious about the transaction itself. You knew what you were giving, and you knew what you were getting. And if you were to break down the design time of a game into a pie chart at that point, it might look something like this. Story, graphics, narrative connections between them, mechanics, marketing, playtesting, and then how much a go at the arcade costs. There was a lot going on in the development of a game at these times, but it's all focused on making a game good, because at that time, good games make the most money. When a company discovered a successful game, they couldn't just augment the original with downloadable content or extra levels, because that technology didn't exist yet. They'd have to make a complete sequel, and so gamers got more games. Jump forward to the mid-1990s, the home console market had taken off. You buy a console, you buy a game, and then you play that game. Now, the whole lives mechanic in games at this time was a holdover from the arcade design space and wasn't actually needed in home consoles, because you didn't need the player to put more money in. Dying when you have 3 lives, then restarting from your last save, or just dying and restarting from the save anyway with no arbitrary life limit was functionally the same.
Lives were the original game mechanic to bring money in. Like the lives feature on arcade games, that was what brought in more money. But what the gaming industry realized is that players who are great players like myself on games like these, we would find a way not to die. And then they said, wait, we have to make the levels harder. And that's why on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you had the underwater. And like there was a period of time where that didn't exist in gaming, and it was a golden era of magic. It was you could line up your quarters on the glass of any arcade game, and you could only spend like $1.50 to $2.50, and you could literally play for hours until the gaming industry said, whoa. That we're not doing that anymore. we want you to put the maximum amount of quarters or tokens in as possible, and thus began the downward spiral into the depravity of game developing.
Same thing, but design moves slowly. Away from the arcade model, you no longer paid per play, and you now paid per game, and you then played as much as you wanted. Games were expensive, of course, but when you bought a game, it was complete. If it shipped with bugs, it would just have bugs forever. If it shipped with secret unlockable stuff, it would have that forever. When you owned the game, you owned the ability to play as much as you want of the complete experience. And this was a very simple and fair transaction. While the arcade was, here's a game, pay us to have a go, the console was, here's a game, pay us to keep it and play it whenever. But the home gaming scene wasn't just consoles, it was also PCs. Now, back then PC gaming wasn't as mainstream as it is today, but it did come with one major advantage. Because the PC held a load of data files on its hard drive instead of just reading them from the disk or cart like a console, developers could create additional content for a game and sell that.
PC games
like
are the
the
best.
incredible RPG Baldur's Gate, releasing in 1998, and then the multi-hour-long expansion Tales of the Soul Coast in 1999. This was a time in gaming where developers could develop additional content, but when
Baldur's
they did,
Gate
it was usually a lot
legit
of content.
awesome.
PC games saw expansion after expansion. Morrowind seeing the Tribunal and Blood Moon expansions, Diablo 2, then the Lord of Destruction expansion, and all the extra modules for Neverwinter Nights. This was additional content for a game without being a sequel. But again, gamers didn't hate this because the transaction was very simple to understand and it felt fair. You gave them money, you got an experience designed to be the most fun it could possibly be. The biggest difference in
What did I say earlier when watching that Morphologist video? We were talking about this exactly. Simply put, gamers want a fun experience. That's it. That's it. No matter what condition the game is in, they just want to log in and have a fun experience, man. It's exactly what we were talking about. When you reduce all the bullshit down, when you take away everything that makes a game, the company, the leader, the employees, the real life paychecks, the gamers paying, or you know, for the experience. When it comes down to it, it's simple. Am I having fun? You see so many people get like way into the nuance of it, right? There's a whole market of it where people are just, it's hater bait. And every video is hate bait, and the content just comes across that way. And it's just them not even caring, getting those clickety clacks, right? And they're talking about all these little things. And, you know, like at the end of the day, it's really simple. It's simplistic. I paid a certain amount. Okay, let's label that X. Okay, does it equal having fun? Because that is, hold on, Pepe, we need some help. I need a whiteboard. Okay, yes, like I need a whiteboard here. Okay, now I need the largest font that I can have, Pepe. Thank you. Okay, is X, which is not multiplied by this, even though it's next to parenthesis, X being amount I paid, okay? X is X, the amount I paid. Okay, there we go. This is gonna be the thumbnail. Equal to my fun experience. Or is it equal to a fun experience? Sorry, I had to rethink that. That's it. Like that's what it boils down to. That's it. Okay, we can play around with this. We can play around with this formula. We can have fun. We can put some addition, some subtraction in there. We can make it divisible by itself. We can square root that motherfucker if we want. We can do all types of things. But really, at the end of the day, when you boil it down, that's it. That's it. That's really it. I'm done with this video. We've explained it. We've explained it all. We do it all here on DG360. If you want to subscribe, please do. If you want to hit the thumbs, and these are for people on YouTube. The people here that are live are awesome. They took the time to be here. You should join us. It's a fun time. But if you're watching on YouTube, we break things down here. We put some truth on things. We just truth it up. That's all we do. It's a very simple equation. It's a very simple formula. Okay? It's very simple. Yeah. Listen to Limitless. He knows what's up.